All right. Good evening, everybody. We have some people that are coming on a little bit later, so we're just going to go ahead and get started. We have a guest speaker tonight. I'm so happy to have him. Everybody say hi to Baird.
Hi, Baird.
Everybody.
But before I let him go ahead and speak, we actually talked a little bit about what I wanted him to speak with you about. And so we kind of have that for about 20 minutes, and then we'll open it up for some questions for him at the end. But before we do that, does anybody have, and Alicia, I know you might not be able to speak, so I have your chat window up on Facebook, so you can message me if you have any questions. But let's go to Bonnie first. Do you have any questions about anything or any of the posts this week, or even anything that we talked about Sunday too with Dawn?
No, I don't have anything right now, but we'll see what
after
this call goes, and I might have some questions later.
Okay. All right, let me see if Alicia has anything. Son, no.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, now we can hear you, girl.
Okay, I called in. I don't know if my webcam's not working.
Okay, awesome. Do you have any questions about, any post this week or just anything that's happened this week before we turn it over? Okay, awesome. And Alicia, thank you for sending me your bat. After the call, I do want to talk to you a little bit about your bat. So just remind me that we can message back and forth, okay?
All right, sounds good.
All right, awesome. Okay, Baird, well, I'm just going to turn it right over to you, and then they might have some questions for you at the end. So go right ahead.
Absolutely. I'm so excited and honored to be on your call tonight, Tricia. This is really cool. This is actually the first time that Tricia and I actually get to see each other live.
I know.
We've actually never met. We've spoken to each other so many times on the telephone, through Facebook, through text, and we have never ever really seen each other live in real motion and to see what each other. This is really cool to see part of your house and see one of the kids. I can see the corner of his head right now that I've heard you talk about and seen pictures about. So this is really cool, and it's great to meet some of the people on your team as well. I'll tell you a little bit about my background. I was a teacher for 28 years in the public school system. I was a high school band director for 13 years, and then for 15 years after that, I was an elementary school band director. But I always had this passion for speaking. And it was always something that was just inside of me that I wanted to do. And I did some network marketing. In fact, I was in Beachbody for quite a while. And technically, I'm still in Beachbody. And I have to tell you that Beachbody taught me so many different things that I think if you just go and you do the programs, you don't really think about it. But I thought about it at a different level. And I got involved just because I was gaining weight. I was getting to the 200-pound mark, and I didn't like that. I didn't want to go across that threshold. And I had seen that commercial with Tony Horton and P90X on TV enough times that I knew I needed to just do it. And it was January the 2nd in 2010. I was sitting in front of my TV, and all of a sudden, I never watched QVC ever. I turned on QVC, and there was Tony, and he was talking about P90X, and I just pulled out my phone and I downloaded the QVC app and I ordered P90X right then and there. Came a few days later, and I just made this decision. I made this hard, fast decision, like many of you probably have too, to just go and do it. No matter what the cost was, I was going to do it. I remember the first day I did it, I put a post up on Facebook that day number 1 of P90X is in the books. And all these people started commenting on it because everyone's heard about this, right? They all know about P90X, but they don't know about Beachbody. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute because I think that's a huge advantage that you have. So I did P90X, and I suffered through it really for the first 2 weeks. I was walking around like my 82-year-old father. It was painful. It was uncomfortable. I was in a lot of pain, but I was determined to get through to the end because I had cast this vision for myself that I was going to do this, that no matter what came about, I was going to do it. I was going to do it every day, and I wasn't going to fail at it. I didn't care what was going to happen. I did it every single day. And there were some things that came up in life, like we always have, these life things that come up, and I didn't care. This became number 1 in my life, and I was going to accomplish it. So I really think that's really what put me on the journey to where I am now. I think, Beachbody is just such a great company, and you're so fortunate to have Trisha as a leader, someone who's determined, who's hungry. She's passionate about what she does. She's excited about building the team, and she wants to help other people. And that's such a rare thing to find in this world today. Most people are in things for themselves, and she is here to help everybody, and that's such a great thing that you have, and you really want to make sure that you latch on to that and ask her for help and get all the help you can. I think that's one thing that most people don't get. We need to ask for help and work together as a team, and when you do that, you can accomplish so much more. Whether it's something that is difficult for you, whether it's a success or a failure, share it with each other. You'll find out that everyone has failures, and I was speaking to someone about that earlier this evening. In fact, just a few minutes ago, about that we are so afraid of failing that we never do anything. We stand in a state of fear. And because of that state of fear, not understanding that we have to go through failure to get to success, we never act on anything. We sit there in inaction. And it's almost like an epidemic, I think, that people have. They're so afraid of that because we hear so much about people's successes, right? How many people do you know that share their failures with you all the time?
None.
None, right? No one wants to do that. I know I rarely share my failures with people, but we need to do that because people need to understand that it's real, that's what you need to do to get to success. If you don't fail, you will never get to success. If you stay in a state of fear and never get to the point where you are willing to accept failing, you will never, ever get to success. I dare you to find even one person who is successful that has not had any failures. In fact, they will all tell you they've had many failures. I'm going to recommend a book. If you have a pencil and pen, write this down. This is one of my favorite books. It's a book that really taught me that it's okay to have failures and how to deal with it. It's called Failing Forward.
Oh, I have that one already.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one.
And it's by John Maxwell. I actually got to hear John Maxwell speak live a year ago, and he's a fantastic teacher, educator, and speaker. You definitely want to read that book, and if you have read it, read it over again because it's such great material. And if you haven't read it, read it, write things down, take notes. Don't just read a book, study it. And I think that's one thing that we don't do enough. We need to study books. I know I need to do that more as well, to take a book and study it like a textbook rather than just a novel. So, that's something I think it's so important. It's so important to get out of our comfort zone. And what I mean by that is, and I want to check my time so I don't go too long here, is we need to expand our comfort zone. There are a lot of things as you're working in this business, you're going to find that are outside of the zone of comfort that you've made for yourself. And if you want to be successful, we have to step outside of that comfort zone. But I really like to say, instead of stepping outside of our comfort zone, to expand your comfort zone, expand that zone of comfort you have. Maybe it's difficult for you to be in a room and speak in front of a room. Well, you don't have to do that with Beachbody, but you can talk to someone. Maybe it's difficult for you to talk to a stranger, but you can talk to an acquaintance. And as you do that, challenge yourself maybe once a week to talk to someone you don't know. And then when you get comfortable with that, you can do that a little bit more often. And you'll find that as you do that, it becomes a lot easier and easier to do it over and over and over again. But if you only do it once in a while, it makes it very difficult. And I'll use case in point is the workouts in Beachbody. If you do those workouts once a week, you really don't get any traction, do you? From one week to the next, you're really starting over again each time. You don't have any accumulation of results, and you don't learn anything from it. Your body doesn't learn anything from it. You lose that muscle tone. And likewise, when you're working the business, if you only do it once in a while, here's what happens. The exact same thing. You get no traction. If you only work it once a week, that once a week, each week it feels like it's new, and it's difficult again. But if you work it on a daily basis in a regular way, just like you did Beachbody, you're going to have those same results. There's a book that I learned and found out about called The Slight Edge, and I found out about that through Beachbody. If you've never read that book before, I think it was in the 10, I forget what it was called. Trisha, help me. It was like a 10 things you do each day or each week or something like that.
Now it's 3.
Yeah.
Hey, okay.
Vital
They made it simple, right?
Yeah. They've got it.
Well, one of the things was reading 10 pages every day, right?
Yeah.
One of them is personal. It's invite, product of the product, and the personal development. So personal development is still there.
Great. Well, The Slight Edge was one of the first books I found out about, and that book is I found out about it through Beachbody, and it's by a gentleman named Jeff Olson, Olsen, and that book it's so poignant and is so current for what we're doing, what you do with network marketing, what anyone does with network marketing or anything in life. You look at what you did with Beachbody with the workouts. It's the same idea. You did a little bit each day. If you worked out once, would it change your life at all? Not at all. If you eat healthy one time, does it change your life? No. If you eat a big old cheesecake one day, will you gain a lot of weight? Will it change your life? No. But if you do either of those on a daily basis, you'll either change in a negative way or in a positive way, depending on what you're doing. So if you eat salads every day and you have good protein every day and you stay away from fats every day and you exercise every day and you do cardio several times a week and you lift your weights several times a week, you're going to see over time results. The result that day may be imperceptible, but over time you'll have results. Likewise, when you work your business, if you do a little bit all the time, you will gradually start to see those results. And those results will start to compound. And as they compound, then you're really going to see massive results. So I'll never forget when I did Ab Ripper X the first time. When you hate it, but you love it, right? I'll never forget when I did it the first time.
Talk about failure.
Still hate it. Don't love it.
I'm so glad that I could do it in the comfort of my own home, because it would have been embarrassment to see me do a few sit-ups. I could do almost nothing. By the time I got to the end, I think it's 350. What is it? 350.
Well, it's 25 for each exercise, and it comes out to like 349, I think.
349. Well, when I was done, the last day that I did it, the whole last week, I was just doing as many as I could in the amount of time that the video for Ab Ripper was on. I didn't, each time from each exercise, I did as many as I could in each until we moved to the next one. I did 461 reps after that. I couldn't do 10 when I started. But all of a sudden, in the last few weeks, exponentially, everything grew, because all the muscles started to work in tune with each other, and everything started working better. And the same way, your business can grow the exact same way. When you do a little bit each time, a little bit, and you start to grow, and you start to get more coaches under you, and they start to do the same thing you are, over time, that's when your business is going to compound and explode. If you read the book, either The Slight Edge or The Compound Effect, are virtually the same book. Both of those books explain that, and that is what you really want to go for and think about. What do I need? What's that little bit I need to do each day? Because we can't accomplish it all at once, and that's a mistake I think we make, that we're going to do it all at once, and it's just not going to happen. We've got to do a little bit each day, and we have to have action steps each and every single day. And if we don't do that, that's when we start to worry about a rejection. We start to walk away from meetings, we're not on the conference calls, whatever it may be, and we start to step away from it, and little by little we go the opposite direction. It's just like eating pudding every night and having a giant old watermelon instead of a salad, or eating ice cream. Well, I had it last night. It was no big deal. I missed it, so I had ice cream last night. I didn't gain any weight from it. I'll have it again tonight. It's no big deal. Suddenly that becomes a habit, right? And you want to make sure you're feeding yourself with good habits. Just like you feed your body and your mind with good habits, you want to feed your brain with good things to read, and good activities to help to spur you on to the next activity. The more activities you have, the more positive experiences you have, the more positive experiences you'll have. And the more positive experiences you have, the more positive experiences you'll have, and the negative ones won't really bother you much any longer. So if you want to do that, here's the best way to do it. You need to have a vision. Cast a vision for yourself for what you want to have, let's say in a year from now. What do you want to have? What financial things do you want to have? What time things do you want to have? What kind of goals do you want to have in your business? What are those? What's that vision for yourself? And when you cast that vision for yourself, it's like replaying a new movie in your mind. You know, when we're young, there are a lot of things that happen to us as we're young and we're growing up, and we listen to what other people tell us. And when we listen to them, some people tell us great things about ourselves. Some people tell us negative things about ourselves, like you're not tall enough, or you're not smart enough, or you're not strong enough, or you don't know how to do this, or you're not, good at this, or you're not good at that. Maybe you're not the fastest person. Maybe you're not the strongest person. Whatever it may be, they give us these negative things, and when we have an experience that reminds us of that, we then pull that experience out of our minds and remember it from our subconscious. I can't do that. So-and-so has much more business acumen than I do. That's why they're able to create wealth, and I can't, because I don't have that. But someone else told you that. They implanted that in your mind. And what you need to do with your vision is to almost erase the tape and create a new vision in your mind and new self-talk in your mind so that you can have those things, because anybody can achieve whatever they want. So you need to learn how to speak to your subconscious. And here's what I mean by that. If I'm a big fan of beer. I love to have a nice cold beer every once in a while during the week, and I'm sure a lot of people like to do that. But if someone came up to me and said, here's your choice of beers. This one has these ingredients. This one has these are the ingredients for this one, and these are the ingredients for that. And I'm reading the ingredients. I really wouldn't know what choice to make. It's overwhelming, and that's not why I drink beer. Now, if someone came and said, if you have this one, it's cold, it's icy cold, it's just going to make you feel great. And this one over here, this is a great beer. In Germany, they have this after this event and that event. And that you're casting a vision for somebody, right? And I'm going to taste those beers, and I'm going to enjoy that because of the vision that's cast for me in my mind. When you watch a commercial on TV, those commercials speak to our subconscious. They give you very little facts. The facts don't sell people. The facts that you're feeding yourself, they don't mean anything. You've got to speak to your subconscious and recreate in your mind who you are, and that recreate almost a new movie for yourself as a successful person, walking on that stage at the Coaches Summit, and to see yourself receiving awards and being on that stage, and say that, give that self-talk to yourself every day. And what you want to do is write down what your vision is in a paragraph or 2 paragraphs, and read it to yourself every day at least, if not twice or 3 times a day. In 1 year, you could say at Summit next year, I plan to be a three diamond coach or triple diamond coach with this many people on my team. This is what my income is going to be. I'm going to be on the stage. I'm going to receive this award. And you say that to yourself every single day. And don't go a day without saying it. And every time something negative happens, read it again. And your subconscious will start to believe that. It's amazing what happens with our subconscious and how it affects us. In fact, a great example is, have you ever seen the movie Philadelphia? Mm-hmm. The movie I'm talking about with Tom Hanks. Yeah. He dies of AIDS. Now, Tom Hanks didn't have AIDS. He wasn't a lawyer. He didn't die. He's still around. Yet when we watch that movie, we get tearful. We know it's not real. The reason we get tearful is because that movie is speaking to our subconscious. And that's why that happens. So that's a very powerful thing. And the subconscious speaks to what we do so much stronger than our conscious mind does. Our conscious mind is merely a pawn. So when you're talking to people about the business, guess what? You've got such an upper hand because of Beachbody. They see a change in you. They see what you do. They see how it's transformed you. You use that to your advantage. That speaks to people's subconscious. They're going to ask you about the business. I know when I finished working out with P90X, people were asking me all the time, what did you do? How did you change your body so much? This is incredible what you did. I lost 50 pounds in 60 days. I put on muscle that I never ever had before. People were asking me about it, and I didn't even know about being a coach at the time. And I knew there must be a way to make money at this because people kept asking me about it. You have that as your advantage. You could do so much with that. Don't be afraid of that tool. Wear your Beachbody stuff. Wear whatever, the workouts you are that are doing. Because guess what? People don't even know that Beachbody is network marketing. They have no clue. Zero clue. They see these commercials on TV, and they have zero clue. So there should be almost no fear on your part to talk to people about this. And if you do have that fear, really what it comes down to is you're giving up that control. That's what fear does. Fear releases control from yourself and gives it away to another person, another entity, and it takes away your choice. So when you say things like, I can't, that's fear. That's no control. That means you have no control over what can happen for you and for your life. Successful people take control. If you say it's not my fault, that means you're not taking responsibility. If you say it's a problem, you're not taking responsibility. You want to, instead of saying it's a problem, say it's an opportunity. I had a friend, he was very, very wealthy. He built many companies. He's passed away a few years ago. He used to walk around telling people, hey, I have an opportunity to share with you. And what he was really saying was, I've got a problem that needs solving. And I didn't understand it at the time. But over the last several years, I really started to understand what he was getting at. When he said to me, I have an opportunity for you, he spoke in those words because he saw problems as opportunities. He didn't see them as problems. He saw them as an opportunity to learn something new, to create something new, to solve a problem. And that was an opportunity to him. And that's what he was teaching us. It was an amazing thing. And he was very, very successful, and I believe it was because of his mindset. Saying things like, I hope I can get a new coach. I hope I can get some people on Shakeology. I hope that the people that I have on Shakeology don't cancel. How about saying, I know that I will get a new coach. I know that I'll build my Shakeology customers, and I know that they won't give up on it. I know. That's control. That gives you control. It's that self-talk that we want to give ourselves, the proper self-talk. Casting that vision for yourself, you've got to have a vision that's so strong that it gives you a compelling reason to get over your fear to get there. And I'll close out with this. If I were to say, hey, listen, I'll set up 2 cinder blocks and put between them a plank that's 12 feet long, 6 inches wide. So it's a foot off the ground, then give you $20 to walk across it. You would probably say, I'll do that all day long. I'll take $20 every time I walk across that plank. But if I took that same plank and I put it across 2 skyscrapers that are a city block apart, and I offered you that same $20, you'd say, no way. There's no way I would do that. In fact, if I offered you $1,000 or $10,000 or $20,000, you would still say, no, I'm not walking across that plank. But if I then said, on the other side of that plank is a building. That building is on fire, and your child is on the top of that building. The only way to get your child off of there is by going across that plank. All questions about going across that plank would be gone, because your reason is so strong that it overcomes every fear that you have to get there. And that is what vision is about. You need to cast such a strong vision for yourself. You need to dive in deep for why you're doing this business. What's the compelling reason that will compel you to action when you fear what you might have to do to get there? When you fear your failures, you're going to do it anyway because you're not afraid to fall off of that plank. You need to save your child. And it's such a strong, compelling reason. That's the type of mental strength you want to get with your vision. And that's what it'll do for you. That's it. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, Baird. I really appreciate that because I really think, I know we don't have too much time left, so I'm going to open it for questions. But just to close, I really think that that's a really big, the thing that I hear a lot is I'm too scared to, open myself up. I'm too scared to approach people. I'm too scared, even when it comes to social media, I'm too scared to put my life out there or my situation or my story out there because, whatever. And I think you hit the nail right on the head with both of those things. Is it worth it to you? What is that why that's going to make you push to do that? And again, the self-talk goes right along with that is I can do it. I am going to put myself out there because of this why, but I believe in myself and I know that I can make it happen.
And that really needs to come first. Because, I didn't really talk about goals a whole lot because those goals are great. But if you don't have that proper self-talk and speaking to your subconscious, if you don't have that driving you, those goals don't mean anything. Mm-hmm. The goals are come after the self-talk. You've got to really speak to that subconscious and get that inner strength to say, okay, yes, I need to do it. Do it one time. Do it a little bit, little by little, and eventually you'll get there. It's kind of like the person who is doing oh my goodness, I can't think of the word right now. When when you're watching the videos, there's always someone who's doing it in a way that's a little bit easier on the DVDs. The modifications.
Modifier, yeah.
Yeah. Let someone modify what they're doing until they get comfortable with it, and then they can build up from there.
Right. That's a good analogy. I like that. Does anybody have any questions? Let me go to Bonnie first. Bonnie, do you have any questions or anything that you want to add? We probably have like 5 minutes.
It's not, okay, I'll try to hurry then. It's not a question. It's it's actually a comment because, I've read The Compound Effect and I've read The Slight Edge and some of those other books too. And they're very good books, and we do need to follow what they're telling us because it's absolutely true. You have to do these things day in and day out to see any kind of success. Now, hearing Bears reinforcing all that, yes, I've been doing a lot of that stuff. I've been doing my inviting, I've been doing my personal development, and of course I do my workouts, so I'm being proof the product works. But there are other aspects, other things that I'm doing that I haven't stepped out of that comfort zone yet. And I think I think you just pushed me that. I've been in this box. I don't want to just step out of the box. I want to eliminate the box. So I think you just add on some of these other things that I've been procrastinating at.
Good.
There's a quote that I really like. It says, middle class is comfortable being comfortable. And world class is comfortable being uncomfortable. So if you want to be world class, you've got to learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable and going out there without a net and not being afraid of falling and getting back up again. When you fall, if you can see up, you can get up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Alicia, do you have anything for Baird or any comments that you want to make?
No, it was really good.
I know, he's great. That's why I had him on the call. I'm going to have to have him every week. I'm going to have to start bringing him on once a month at least. It's great just having that extra motivation of someone. Amber, do you have anything? I know you came on late.
Nope. I just caught the tail end of it, so no.
Okay.
Well,
but thank you. Yeah, I'll watch it. I'll watch it again.
Something I started doing about 3 months ago that I never thought I would do. I love the Today Show. It is one of my most favorite shows to watch. And about 3 months ago, I just decided I'm not watching the news anymore. And when I wake up in the morning, my TV does not go on. First thing I do is I do my 5 at 7:55 call in the morning. And as soon as that's over, I make my breakfast and I sit and I read for about 45 minutes. And then I go about my day after that. And I do not watch the news anymore. In fact, been having snowstorms up here, and every time there's a snowstorm, I find out about the day before because someone calls me and says, "Oh, what about this snow?" I'm like, what snow? Because I'm just not plugged into it. And I found out that it doesn't matter. In fact, it actually makes my mood better. I'm more productive. I'm a happier person. And because of that, I can do more and I can help more people. And I'm more energized all the time. I would turn on the news and hear about fires and burglaries and deaths and murders. And that's just not the way to start the day. And I have a much more positive outlook on life each day just because I've turned off that news. And there's one other book I want to mention to you. It's called Mach 2 with Your Hair on Fire. Mach 2 with Your Hair on Fire. And it's written by a gentleman whose name is Richard Brooke, B-R-O-O-K-E. And I've actually met Richard a few times. He's a fabulous author. And in fact, I would even say get the audio. He reads the book. It's a quick read. It's not a hard book. And it is a great book on casting a vision for yourself. That's what it's all about, casting a vision. And he teaches you how to do that and talks about creating a new movie in your mind.
Oh, I think you told me about that one, and I have to read that one. I had ordered it when we talked before, Beards. Yeah.
But by the way, I'd like to.
He also has some videos on his website, free videos on his website that are really, really good when it comes to network marketing. It's great to show prospects when it comes to network marketing, and he's got one that's called the 4-Year Career, which is a video he has, and it's also a book. And the other one is called Wake Up Call, and that one's about 5 minutes long. And I've shown that to people before they see a presentation, and when you show it to them, it opens their mind up. It opens up their mind a whole lot. So there are he has some great tools that he shares with people for free.
Oh, nice. Bonnie, what were you going to say?
I was going to tell Bears that I have been listening in on your 5 at 7:55, and I find them very interesting.
Yes, I was going to say, anybody else here, I would like everybody on the team actually to start plugging in to that call, and that be a daily thing, because it is 5 minutes. And even if you can't be on at 7:55, I can't every morning just because of the kids. I just call and listen to the recording. So after this, I'll make sure that I get everybody on your website, Beards, too, because that's going to be kind of something that I want everybody to do, because I've been getting so much benefit out of that as well.
And like my fan, I have 2 pages. One's a group page and one's the fan page. And what I'm finding out with Facebook is the fan page is the stronger thing to be on. So if you just go to the search bar and just do 5AT755, 5 at 755, you'll find it. The fan page is the one that has the yellow header, and that's the fan page, and that's the one I'm going to be using predominantly. I'm using both right now, but I'm going to try to phase out the group page and use the fan page more.
Like your like page, you mean?
Well, I can add people to the group page. The fan page, people have to go there themselves.
Yes.
But I'm finding that that's a better way to go.
Okay.
And just some different things that I've been reading about using Facebook, and that's where I'm going to be now. So get to that fan page. It's a great place to be, and share it with people, because that call in the morning is for anybody. It has nothing to do with network marketing. It has nothing to do with anything other than life, and just
personal development.
Really personal development, a good focus for yourself, and that's all it's about.
Yeah, I love it.
By the way, I also listened in on that webinar with Dr. Eccles last night.
Yes.
That was pretty good.
I was unable to be on it because I was actually speaking last night, and I didn't get the replay. So I've got to send him a text and say, "Hey, where's my replay?" I didn't get the replay in my.
Well, he said he was going to send it, because I didn't get it either. I mean, he sent me some videos which I haven't had a chance to look at. I think there were going to be 3 of them, and I got one this morning.
Oh, awesome! If you could forward the replay, that would be awesome. I would like to.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't looked at it, but I'll send it to you all.
All right, awesome.
Yeah, he's a very nice guy. He's a friend of a friend, and that's how I got to meet him. I just met him over the telephone a few days ago. Really nice man.
Awesome. Well, we have 2 minutes remaining, so I guess we will close again. Beards, thank you so much for being here. We'll probably have you on again. It's always nice to have some awesome motivation. Good. Well, we appreciate it. So if anybody has any questions, I'll let them talk to you on the fan page or whatever.
Yeah, please post comments. If there's something you want me to talk about, put that on there. Post comments. I even have a I have a questionnaire on there right now, like a survey. So go on there and fill out your survey just for fun. Just another way to interact with people.
All right. Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much,
everybody.
guys.
Nice to see you all.
Good night.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.